In this movie, we'll take a look at a few printer-specific settings here on the Mac. But again, because these things vary so wildly, even if you're working on a PC, you may find some of this information to be helpful. So I'm going to start by going up to the File menu and choosing the Print command, or you can press that keyboard shortcut of Command-P in order to bring up Photoshop's Print Settings dialog box. Notice that color management is twirled open at the moment, and this is the same way it is on the PC. By default, color handling is set to Printer Manages Colors, which is more likely than not exactly what you want. But notice this alert message right here. It's telling us to remember to enable the printer's color management in the Print Settings dialog box. And we get to that by clicking on the Print Settings button. Now I want you to notice that the printer is currently set to an HP LaserJet, which is our general purpose office printer. So if I click on Print Settings, I'm going to see the settings that are specific to that printer. Now the fact that we saw so few settings for this printer in the previous movie there on a PC may be indicative that I need to update the driver software on that machine. Because the plain fact of the matter is we're seeing a lot more options here on the Mac. To get to those options, you want to click on the word Layout right there in order to bring up this pop-up menu. Generally speaking, these first four commands take you to OS-level options that are defined by Apple. In order to get to the printer driver settings, you need to go to the second section. And in our case, the only one that matters is this guy right here, Color/Quality. And notice that HP Easy Color is turned on, which is exactly what we want. So that's telling us that the driver software is going to be in charge of the color management process. And so having confirmed that, I'll just go ahead and click on the Save button in order to return to Photoshop's Print Settings dialog box, at which point you may encounter this alert message telling you that Apple's color sync matching may produce different results than printer color management. And so the idea is you should either put Photoshop in charge of the process or let the printer driver software do the work. And the reason we're seeing that, I'll go ahead and click OK. That is a problem, by the way. The reason we're seeing that is because color sync is actually turned on. And to turn it off, go ahead and click on the Print Settings button once again, and then switch here from Layout to Color Matching. And notice this color sync option, that's not what we want. We want in-printer color management. So go ahead and select in-printer, and then click on the Save button. And notice this time, we don't get the warning. At which point, I'd go ahead and twirl color management closed, and then maybe turn on the Scale to Fit Media checkbox, and then click the Print button, assuming that I want to print this image. What I'd like to do instead is show you some more print settings, this time associated with that Epson R3000. So I'll go ahead and select that printer from the list. And I'll once again click on the Print Settings button in order to bring up the Print dialog box. And this time, I'll just go ahead and choose color matching once again to make sure that the printer driver is in control of the color management process, which it is. And so now what I can do is choose one of these other buttons, such as Print Setting. Now, let's say I want to do some borderless printing. Notice that I'm not seeing any borderless options right here. And that's because on the Mac, they're located up here in paper size. So what you have to do is click on US Letter in my case, and then choose either Borderless Auto Expand, which is not what you want when you're working with Photoshop, or Retain Size, which is exactly what you want. That way you're going to get the image you expect. All right, now I've got media type set to this matte paper right here, which is just fine. And I want the print quality to be photo, although you could go up to super photo. Once again, the resolution there is 5760 DPI wide and 1440 DPI tall. And whether you're going to really see the difference is up to you. You can try it out, but you're definitely going to use way more ink, which is why I'm going to stick with photo 1440 because the ink is really the expensive part of the process. All right, high speed is fine. I don't need mirror image. I do want to print in color. And so that really takes care of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and click the Save button in order to return to Photoshop, and we can now see that I have borderless printing because I no longer have those diagonal lines that represent the margin. So now I'll just go ahead and turn off Scale to Fit Media, and I'll take that scale down to 96%, which we figured out worked well on the PC. Might turn off the center option, and I'll go ahead and click in the left value here and press the up arrow key, maybe just once, in order to scoot that image over to the right. And then I would either click the Print button in order to actually print the image, or I'd click Done to go ahead and save my settings. And those are at least a couple of different ways to adjust the printer-specific settings here on the Mac.